It was the first time we've heard the Manchester United coach speak in pre-season from LA. Inevitably, he was asked a number of different questions, but one in particular seemed pertinent: the future of Zlatan Ibrahimovic at the club.
He made the challenge for himself of wants to keep playing at the highest level. Obviously, we open our door for him to recover with us. Obviously, Old Trafford, Carrington is open for him to recover with our people and to be one of us. And at the same time, let's make a decision that make us all happy. And if that decision is for him to stay and for us to wait, let's say, until December, maybe, because I don't think before December he can be back to competitive football. But why not for us to wait for such a good player that gave us so much? So we are speaking, we are changing ideas.
Adrian Healy in LA, of course, all week following Manchester United at that press conference. The door seems very much open, doesn't it, for a new contract for Zlatan? Of course, he's a free agent at the moment after doing his ACL. They didn't renew his contract this summer, but it does look like he could play for Manchester United once again in 2018.
It is amazing, isn't it, Dan? Here we are on the campus of UCLA. That press conference from Jose Mourinho happened in the building away to my left, the UCLA Hall of Fame. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic, not currently a United player, was the man dominating the conversation. It sounded like a plea, didn't it? Jose using the words, there's still time to think and decide. Well, I thought that Zlatan had been doing plenty of thinking and deciding over the recent days, and we were waiting a big announcement. Of course, the media here, you know it, especially in LA here and in DC, running with the story that Zlatan has this bigger offer on the table from the Los Angeles Galaxy, which would make him the highest paid player in MLS. You know, the timing still looks like it would favour the Los Angeles Galaxy, didn't it? But bear in mind, it didn't end the way Zlatan would have liked at Manchester United. He didn't go out in the way Zlatan normally goes out. So is there still a chance he's going to come back for one more go-around and win one last title? Certainly Mourinho seemed to open that door, didn't he?
What would you do, Steve, if you were Zlatan?
If I was Zlatan, I think I would try and stay at Manchester United for the remainder of the season whenever he does come back. You know, I think Man United have got to step up. If he's going to be rehabbing and training at Carrington and being with Manchester United between now and December, as Jose says, then I think that's a huge up for Manchester United to stop him going somewhere else. Right. Because we're only talking about half a season at the most. And he's going to be training there. He's got to get himself fit. I think this is an absolute no-brainer, and no question. If Zlatan does get fit and does stay with United, this helps United big time.
I think it's a no-brainer for Manchester United because it gives you time to evaluate what you have on the field. It gives you time to see Romelu Lukaku playing that big-name role and that goal-scoring role and carry on the shoes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic and see how he deals with the pressure that Stevie has talked about regarding the sign of Romelu Lukaku. It also gives you time to see where you are as a team and what your needs are. And in a transfer window that tends to be quiet in January, this would be sort of a unspoken, unwritten, something that you were not accounting for, a transfer that you bring in and a player that you know very well. And if he's healthy, and that is the real key, if his recovery is correct and he's healthy, Zlatan Ibrahimovic can still help you.
But I suppose you just look at Zlatan and you know that it is all about Zlatan. Would he be happy playing that bit-part role, which inevitably you would have, if he was to stay on at United? He's not going to be starting ahead of Lukaku, for example, or is he?
Hold on. No, not necessarily. And I think that's a question for Zlatan to answer ultimately, of course. But there's no guarantee that he's going to start you correct. But given Zlatan, his abilities, if he gets himself back to anything near what he was, I don't see how he's anything but the first name on the team sheet here. I think Jose Mourinho has played this superbly. This is a little bit of a dog whistle to Zlatan Ibrahimovic in that don't commit yourself to anybody just yet. Wait until December. You can stay with us and then make a decision then. I think it's incredible positioning by Jose Mourinho and Manchester United.
Hey, if we were to look at the timeline of it, for example, we've seen people do this in the past, haven't we? he could play for the season at United, and in the summer of 2018, he could make that switch then to the Galaxy, for example.
Yes, absolutely, Dan. That's clearly on the table. Obviously, the Galaxy's preference would be to have him right from the start. Obviously, they would open up pre-season training camp in late January, and you know, Zlatan, according to his fitness timetable, might be ready to go and at least play some sort of role. And of course, let's not forget, here in LA, there's another team kicking off in March, LAFC, and the Galaxy are desperate to match whatever they do with a big splash, and it wouldn't get any bigger than Zlatan. But if they had to take him in June, obviously they would settle for that.
It was the first time we've heard the Manchester United coach speak in pre-season from LA. Inevitably, he was asked a number of different questions, but one in particular seemed pertinent: the future of Zlatan Ibrahimovic at the club.
He made the challenge for himself of wants to keep playing at the highest level. Obviously, we open our door for him to recover with us. Obviously, Old Trafford, Carrington is open for him to recover with our people and to be one of us. And at the same time, let's make a decision that make us all happy. And if that decision is for him to stay and for us to wait, let's say, until December, maybe, because I don't think before December he can be back to competitive football. But why not for us to wait for such a good player that gave us so much? So we are speaking. We are